In this video, I'm going to be talking about EHRs and knowing if you are ready for one. Now, if you don't know what an EHR is, stick around and I'm going to explain that as well. If you have been here for any length of time, you know that I love talking about Google Workspace and everything that it has to offer you for private practice. But there does come a point in time when that isn't quite enough and you need to move on to an EHR or scheduling system for your practice. And that is what we're going to talk about today. Just quickly before we start, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kim. I help therapists in private practice get online, get confident with admin and reduce tech overwhelm. So that is really what we're talking about today. Now, my opinion has changed on who needs EHRs and when. Back in 2020, I was doing some research for a therapist in private practice because she wanted to use a EHR system, a scheduling system for her clients. So I was doing lots of research and I came across a system called Power Diary, which I absolutely love and recommend to all of the clients that require an EHR. Because I was so excited about the system, I definitely recommended it to everyone I worked with. However, after working with therapists for a longer period of time, I now know that an EHR isn't right for everybody. So what I want to talk to you today about is knowing if you are ready for one. So first of all, let me explain what an EHR system is. It stands for an electronic health record system. So it's a system specifically for people in the healthcare industry that need automation and streamlining and a scheduling platform for their clients. If you've ever booked an online appointment, you would have used some kind of scheduling system. Let's say you go and book a hair appointment, they would probably have an online system that you would use to book that appointment. So it can be used for your clients to book themselves in, but that's never what I recommend in private practice. I always recommend therapists take control of their own diaries. However, the premise is the same. It's a system that you use to manage your practice. So the number one thing I would ask you to consider when you're looking at whether you want to use an EHR or not is how many clients you actually have currently and how many clients you want to have in the future. So there isn't a hard and fast rule for like, if you have this many clients, then you should get an EHR. I do have a ballpark figure of around 10 clients, but let's say you have 10 clients and you never want to have any more than 10 clients, then maybe you don't need an EHR system. Whereas if you have 10 clients currently and you're looking to expand that to 15 clients, maybe an EHR system would be a good fit for you. For every hour or 50 minutes that you're seeing your clients in a week, you can probably estimate that you're also doing another hour or 50 minutes of admin for them in one way or another. Whether that's emailing them, sending invoices, checking that payments have been made, doing their client notes, just thinking about them in general, doing some research on something that might help them for your next session. So there's a lot of additional work that goes into having therapy clients. So some of that can actually be taken away by having an EHR system. We'll get into more about that later. But how many clients you have and how many clients you want in the future is something to consider when you are thinking about how to organize your private practice and what system is best for you. The second thing to consider is whether or not you have a wait list. Do you have a large amount of inquiries every week or every month? Do you have people on your wait list that you're trying to fit into your practice? If the answer is yes, then an EHR might also be a good fit for you. The third thing to consider is whether you have enough profit in your business or enough wiggle room in your fee to actually pay for an EHR system. Now, having an EHR system isn't an astronomical cost within your business and can definitely save you time. So if you're weighing up how much time you're currently spending on your admin to how much time you would be spending on your admin if with an EHR system, there is a time cost benefit, but obviously money coming out of your account each month, it is going to make a difference. So you do need to have some profit within your practice to be able to pay for the EHR system, and you also need to have a look at your session fee. If you are currently charging clients £40 or £50 a session, I would probably say that that's too low to be able to afford an EHR system. Again, it's just my experience of working with many therapists in private practice. but I would say that you need to have that wiggle room in your fee for your systems and admin time. The fourth thing to consider is whether you are time poor. So do you have a really busy life outside of your practice? Do you have children to look after? Do you have elderly parents to look after? Or there could be other things taking up your time outside your practice, such as an additional job or some health issues. If you are time poor, having an EHR system can really help you, and the benefit to you of saving that time on admin in your private practice can mean so much more to you than the money that you're spending out each month. The benefits of having an EHR system are booking confirmations and reminders for your clients, automatic invoicing, and if you set it up with Stripe, you can also get clients to pay using a pay link, so you don't even have to check your bank account to see if you've been paid. You could, if you wanted to, even let your clients cancel, reschedule, and book their own sessions. Like I said, I don't necessarily recommend that, but if you set up the right constraints around that, that could work for you if you are time poor. The fifth thing to consider is whether you enjoy admin. I've spoken to quite a lot of therapists recently about streamlining their systems and what they want to do within their practice, and they've told me that they actually really enjoy the admin. And if that's the case, then that's great. If you want to do your own admin, if you actually enjoy that side of your practice, then maybe you don't necessarily need an EHR system. Whereas if this is something you don't necessarily enjoy, getting an EHR system and being able to automate so much of this admin would be great for you, and could mean that you don't have to outsource the admin for your practice. The sixth thing to consider is whether you want to offer group therapy or something like that. Group therapy you can manage within an EHR system really easily. You just set up a group and people can book onto that group, pay for the group automatically, and it's much easier to fill up that group rather than having lots of email conversations with people, sending people invoices and things like that. So if this is something you want to consider for your practice, it can be a really good reason to get that EHR system in. And finally, if you do want to outsource in the future, it can be so much easier to outsource once you have done the actual work of setting up your practice administration system. Now, again, this could be whether you choose to go down the Google Workspace route or whether you choose to get an EHR system, but it's so much easier to outsource to a virtual assistant or somebody like that if you already have these systems in place. So if this is something you are looking to do in the future, it can really help you find the right person and train them so the mistakes are a lot less and the actual onboarding process for that person is a lot shorter. So they were some things to consider when thinking about whether an EHR system is right for you. The number one system that I recommend, which I spoke about right at the beginning of this video, is Power Diary. I am going to be talking about Power Diary all month because it's my absolute favorite EHR system. I have seen a lot of them, and this one is the most user-friendly and intuitive system out there for you therapists in private practice. They also have a great customer service team that can help you do your setup, that can help you if you have any issues once you get the system, and they are always listening to the community when they talk about things that they would like for the system. Before you even think about setting up an EHR system, whichever one you choose, I would really recommend you doing a system workflow. Now, basically what that is thinking about the whole client journey all the way from inquiry to their final session, and having to think about what happens between those two things. So you want to think about how you deal with inquiries, how you onboard a client, how you book the appointments, how you invoice and things like that. And you want to map out how all of that works so that you can transfer that to an EHR and improve it. If you'd like some help with this, I do have a free resource which is called My Private Practice Workflow. It's also the client journey, as I just said, and that would be a great place to start thinking about what you're currently doing and what could have improvement. I'll leave a link for that in the description below, so go check that out. I really hope that has helped you solidify whether an EHR system is right for you or not. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I love answering your questions. And for now, thanks so much for watching.